Episode 3. The Box in the Attic. Juliana was quiet for days. She didn't bring up Laurel, didn't roll her eyes when her father smiled at his phone, didn't interrupt his late-night calls with just a quick question. She had another plan, one that involved dusty memories and emotional landmines. She climbed into the attic on a rainy Sunday afternoon. The place smelled like cedar, mothballs, and sorrow. She hadn't been up there since her mother's funeral. In the far corner, beneath old winter coats and boxes of Christmas lights, she found it. Emma's memory box. Inside were letters tied with blue ribbon, faded Polaroids of her parents at the beach, a dried rose from their first date, a hospital wristband from Juliana's birth. Tears welled up, but she blinked them back. She wasn't here to mourn. She was here to remind her father. Downstairs, Alexander was in his study when Juliana walked in, clutching the box like it held her soul.
"Dad," she said gently.
"I thought maybe we could go through this together. For Mom." He looked up. His face softened. He stood slowly and took the box from her hands. They sat side by side on the living room floor, flipping through memories. Laughter echoed as they remembered Emma's obsession with bad detective shows. Sadness crept in when they reached a letter Emma had written during her final days. "If you find love again, let it in. Don't punish yourself in my name. Don't let Juliana build walls with my picture in her hands. She needs more than memories. She needs a future, too." Juliana's fingers froze on the letter. Her eyes scanned it again, hoping the words would change. Alexander looked at her. "She wanted me to be happy." Juliana swallowed. "I know. But knowing didn't stop the ache. The fear that Laurel would replace what little was left of her mother. "I'm not ready," she whispered. "You don't have to be," he said. "But don't try to take that away from me." Juliana didn't answer. Later that night, when the house was quiet, she went back to the box. Tucked beneath the letters was a tiny velvet ring box, her father's first engagement ring to her mother. She stared at it for a long time. And then she smiled. Because maybe Laurel wasn't here for just a season. But Juliana would make sure it never got that far. Not if she could help it. Episode 4. Tea with the Enemy. Juliana didn't like pretending. But she was smart enough to know that real power lies in silence, in smiles, in offering tea while sharpening the knife behind your back. So when she invited Laurel to lunch at the Ward estate, she did it with the most charming grin. Laurel hesitated. But then she said yes. It was a beautiful afternoon. The kind her mother used to love. Sunlight pouring into the glass house, breeze soft as a whisper. Juliana brewed the tea herself. Laurel wore a white blouse and simple gold earrings, carrying a gift. Old poetry Emma Ward once wrote, now printed into a leather-bound book. Juliana raised an eyebrow. "A gift? For you?" Laurel said gently. "Your mother's writing deserved more than a dusty drawer." Juliana flipped through the pages without comment. "You do your research well." "I listened," Laurel replied. "That's different." They sat, sipped, smiled. But beneath the surface, the war had already begun. Juliana started small. "So, Laurel, have you always had a thing for older men with grief in their pockets?" Laurel blinked.
"No.
I tend to fall for kindness." "Kindness?" Juliana smirked. "My father's not exactly warm and fuzzy." "No, but he's real," Laurel said. "And real matters." Juliana's smile faltered. Just slightly. She switched tactics. "He talks about you, you know. Says you're different. Special. That scares me." Laurel's eyes softened. "It's okay to be scared." "No, it's not," Juliana snapped. "Not when it feels like betrayal. My mother was everything. And now you're just here." "I'm not here to erase her." "Then what are you here for?" Laurel leaned forward. "To love him, in whatever way he'll let me. And if that includes loving the daughter he treasures most, I'll try." Juliana stared. No woman had ever said that before. No one had ever tried. For a moment, the mask cracked. Just a little. But only for a moment. "I hope you're not the kind to break hearts, Laurel," she whispered. "Because I have a long memory. And very sharp edges." Laurel smiled, serene and unshaken. Good. So do I. As tea cooled and silence stretched, neither backed down. It wasn't just a lunch. It was a warning, a challenge, and maybe the start of something deeper than either of them could admit. Because sometimes love doesn't come in through the front door. Sometimes it sneaks in through an unexpected guest.